Hello student. So let's see the thoracic vertebra. So as you know, thoracic vertebra, they are 12 in numbers, and that should be divided into the typical and the atypical thoracic vertebra. So the typical thoracic vertebra, that is starts from 2nd to 8th thoracic vertebra, and the atypical thoracic vertebra, they are first 9, 10th, 11 and the 12th thoracic vertebra. So there are common features that should be occurs into that the typical thoracic vertebra. So let's see the common features which is occurs into that the typical thoracic vertebra. So first, that is the presence of the articular facet on the both lateral side of the body and in front of the transverse process for the attachment of the rib. Second one, that is the body of typical thoracic vertebra, it is very much heart shaped. Then the vertebral foramen, it is circular. Third one, that is the spinous process, it is long, slender, directed backwards and the downwards. And pedicle, that is attached to the upper part of the body, so that the inferior vertebral notch, they are deeper than the superior vertebral notch. So these are the common features which are very much commonly seen into that the typical thoracic vertebra. So let's see the details of the typical thoracic vertebra. So here in this diagram you can see that is the typical thoracic vertebra. So that is the body of the typical thoracic vertebra, it is heart shape, and its antero-posterior measurement and this lateral measurement from side to side measurement, that is near about same. Then on each side, each bears the two costal demi-facet. So here this one, that is the costal demi-facet, and the superior demi-facet, here in this lateral diagram you can see that is the superior costal facet and the inferior costal facet. So the superior costal facet, or that is also called the demi-facet, it is larger than the inferior. So that is here you can see that is it is larger and it is the smaller. Then it is present near to that the pedicle. So that is the superior costal demi-facet, and inferior costal demi-facet, as you know, it is small and it is present lower border in front of the inferior vertebral notch, and it articulates with the next lower rib. Then the vertebral foramen, so this one. So the vertebral foramen, it is small and the circular. Then the vertebral arch, so this one. So that is the pedicles, they are directed here, these are the pedicles, so these are directed straight and the backwards, and the superior vertebral notch, it is shallow. So here in this diagram laterally you can see that is the superior vertebral notch and this is the inferior vertebral notch. So the superior vertebral notch, it is very much shallow, and inferior vertebral notch, it is deep. Then the lamina, so in this diagram you can see that is the lamina. So that is the lamina overlap each other from above. Then the superior articular process. So here that is the superior articular process, this one. So it projects upwards from the junction of the pedicle and the lamina. So this one. Then it articulates, that is the articular facet, it is flat and it is directed backwards and little laterally and the upwards. This direction permits the rotatory movement of the spine. Then that is the inferior articular process, so this one. So the inferior articular process are fused to that the lamina, and their articular facet are directed forwards and slightly downwards and the medially, so here. Then that is the transverse process, so this one. So in this diagram you can see these are the two transverse process, and this is the lateral view of the transverse process. So that is the transverse process, these are the large and are directed laterally, this one, and it is directed backwards from the junction of the pedicle and the lamina. So here that is the pedicles and this is the lamina, so that should be present at the junction of pedicle and the lamina. Then the anterior surface of each process bears a facet near to its tip. So here this one. So this is for articulation with the tubercle of the corresponding rib. So here in the lateral view you can see this one, articular facet for the tubercle of the rib. Then in the upper 6 vertebra, the costal facet on the transverse process are concave and face upward. Then in the lower 6, the facets are flat and they face upwards laterally and slightly forward. So that is the difference between that is the upper 6 and that is the lower 6 vertebra. Then that is the spine. So this one, that is the lateral view of spine, and this is the spine. So this one. So spine, it is long and directed downwards and the backwards. So here in this diagram, lateral view, you can see it directed downwards and the backwards. The 5th to the 9th spine are the longest and more vertical and overlap each other. The upper and the lower spines are less oblique in direction. After then, let's see that is the attachments related with that the typical thoracic vertebra. Then that is the attachments related with that the typical thoracic vertebra. So that is the anterior and the posterior surface of the body. Here this one and this one. So it gives the attachment of the anterior and posterior longitudinal ligament. So here you can see that is the posterior longitudinal ligament, and this one, that is the anterior longitudinal ligament, this one. Then the posterior surface of the body, it is marked by a vascular foramina for the basivertebral vein, and which is covered by the posterior longitudinal ligament. Then that is the attachment related with that the transverse process. So the transverse process, it shows that is the costotransverse ligament. So this one. Then the superior costotransverse ligament, this one, and the inferior costotransverse ligament. So this one. Then the spine or the spinous process. So here that is the spinous process. It give attachment, this one, that is the supraspinous and the infraspinous ligament, and it also gives the attachments, that is the attachment of the several muscle which consist of the trapezius, rhomboides, the latissimus dorsi, serratus posterior superior, and the serratus posterior inferior, and many deep muscles of the back, which is attached to the spine of the typical thoracic vertebra. Next to it, let's see that is the ossification. So ossification of the typical thoracic vertebra, it occurs by the 3 primary centers and the 5 secondary centers. So primary centers, that is one for the centrum, so this one, and the 2 for each of half of the neural arch. So this one 1, this one 1, and 1 is here centrum. So in this way, that is three primary center that should be appears, and it should be occurs at the 8th or the 9th month of the fetal life. Then at the birth, vertebra consists of the 3 parts, that is the centrum and the 2 halls of the neural arch, and these are fused posteriorly during the first year of the life, and the bony fusion occurs during the 3rd to 6th year of the life. Then the 5 secondary centers, so one for the upper surface and the one for the lower surface of the body, one for each transverse process, this one 2 means that is, and one for the spine. So 1 for spine, 2 for that is the transverse process, means that is total 3, and the upper and the lower surface of the body, these are 2, means total 5 secondary centers. Then these appear at age of the 15th year and fuse with the rest of the vertebra about the 25th year. So that is the ossification of the typical thoracic vertebra. Then let's see that is the atypical thoracic vertebra. So first we should have to see that is the T1, then T9, then T10, then T11 and the T12. So these 5 are the atypical thoracic vertebra. So let's see that is first, that is the first thoracic vertebra, that is the T1. So that is the body of this vertebra, it is seems to that of the cervical vertebra. it is broad and not the heart shape, and its upper surface it is lip laterally and beveled anteriorly. Then the superior costal facet, so this one. So the superior costal facet on the body, it is complete. So here in this diagram you can see that is the complete superior costal facet, and it is articulates with the head of the first rib. Then the inferior costal facet, it is the demi-facet for the second rib. After then, that is the spine. So this one. So the spine, it is thick, long and nearly horizontal, and the notches, that is the superior vertebral notch, are well marked as in the cervical vertebra. So here you can see this one, and the inferior vertebral notch, that is also the prominent. Then after then, let's see that is the ninth thoracic vertebra. So the ninth thoracic vertebra, it seems like the typical thoracic vertebra, but that is the difference is body has only the superior costal demi-facet. So here only one, that is the superior costal demi-facet is present, and inferior costal or the demi-facet, that is totally absent, this one. Then the 10th thoracic vertebra, that is the T10. So in the 10th thoracic vertebra, it seems to the typical thoracic vertebra, but the changes are the body has a single complete superior costal facet on each side. So here you can see complete superior costal facet, and it should be present on the root of the pedicle. Then the inferior costal facet, that is totally absent. Then the 11th thoracic vertebra or the T11 vertebra. So in this body has a single large costal facet on each side. So here you can see, and it is present on the upper part of the pedicle, this one, and the lower inferior costal facet, they are absent. Then second one, that is the transverse process, are small and has no articular facet. Then sometimes it is difficult to differentiate, that is between the 10th thoracic vertebra and the 11th thoracic vertebra. Then the 12th thoracic vertebra, that is the T12. The shape of the body, it is seems like that is the lumbar vertebra. That means the pedicle, the body bears this one a single large costal facet. So this one on each side of the body, and it is lies more on the lower part of the pedicle than on the body. Then this is the transverse process. So transverse process, these are the small and has no any facet, but has the superior and inferior and the lateral tubercle. So here superior, inferior, and one is the lateral tubercle is present, and the inferior articular facet are lumbar in type, and these are everted and directed laterally, but the superior articular facet are of the thoracic type. So that is the atypical thoracic vertebra. So here you can see that is the T1, T9, T10, T11 and the T12. And whenever we can see laterally all the thoracic vertebra, so it seems in this way, that is the position of from T1 to T12 vertebra, and the position of the spine, that is from the upper forespine. Here in this way the spinous process is present into the middle forespine, that is the spinous process is present in this way, and the lower forespine, that is the spinous process is present in this way. So this one, these are the thoracic vertebra.